Welcome to my channel where we build a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. Now yesterday we were getting our particle systems for our spell casting mechanic. So what that looks like is we can focus and then we'll get our flames to circle around us with particles coming out that fade over time. Now we've got to do a couple of things here. I want to show off that we can go into our flame count, which we actually just moved last episode into our map. Maybe not. Where did we put this? I think we call it spellcast entity now. And it's in our map, I believe. Let's see. Spellcast entity count. Okay, that's what it is. So if we go to 5 here, we'll see that we've got 5. So one thing I do want to fix, and the particles are kind of set so that there's only ever going to be 40 particles. So if we only have one flame, that one flame gets all the particles, and if we have 5, then they all get to share those same particles. So there's not a crazy amount of particles. One thing I do want to figure out is why every time I start the particle system on a new page, it spawns like one little random particle somewhere that it's not supposed to. I don't know why it does that. See, because like look at that. There's and I can't get it to happen more than, well, there it worked more than once. I can not really get it to reliably show up. I don't know what that is. It might have to do, let's look at the order of what we're doing with our particle emitter, because we might need to only emit particles once we set our particle mode or something. So like this emission rate, set emission area. Yeah, maybe we let's set our emission area very first thing, and then maybe that'll help minimize those weird issues. No, we still got it. I thought that was a good idea to try. It might be hidden under another sort of order of operations there. Yeah, because see, like, we get one lone particle that kind of spawns. That is so strange. So if we set our emission area, we set our particle lifetime, we set our emission rate, and maybe the first thing we do is move it. I don't know, because that has to do with the position, right? So if we move it, let's see if we get it. Nope, still there. Yeah, we're still getting a lone particle right off to the side there. I don't know what to do different. It seems like only the very first particles that get spawned are having that problem. I wonder if we comment out our size variation, because we don't even need it, if that might help it. It's still there. Okay, I mean, if we systematically go and turn things off and see if any of these are the contributor, that's not it. That's not it. It won't have an emission rate if we don't set it. So it might have to do with that, but I saw one there that was, so it's not this. And if we don't set an emission area, what happens? We still get that mess up. So that's a little weird. I don't know why it's doing that. So the only one that seems to trigger this is our emission rate. So I'm gonna give this just a value here. And we're gonna go visual mode, change, no, what do I do? Visual I parentheses, change, maybe just 40, and we'll see if this gives us any issue. It still does. Okay, so it's not really like a rounding error. Now, if we give it a lower number, does it still happen? Yep. If we give it an even lower number, does it still happen? I'm just trying to track this down, you know? It's in the emission rate somewhere. We only set one particle. It doesn't show up. If we set 5 particles, we're still getting it. So what is it? What is it in the emission rate that is triggering a rando pixel over there? Does it for 4, 2, and 3, and 2. So as long as this emission rate is greater than 1, we're getting that weird pixel. Now, the only thing I can also think of is like maybe this needs to be set to 1 or something. No, we're still getting the issue there. Wow, that looks awesome. Gosh, that looks really cool. Why does it do that? The very first particles that get emitted are in a weird location, but they're always in the center. Like it's always right in the dead center. Yeah, it's always right in the dead center. That's what's happening. So how come if we move this, we're moving this very first. So what if we move this before we even do the spellcast fade? Hey, that fixed it. If we move it outside of here, we move it ahead of time, and then if our spellcast fade is correct, okay, so I don't think we need this size variation. I think we can get back our old emission rate, which shouldn't be as much, but I did like the bigger emission, looked kind of cool. Okay, that looks like our problem is fixed now. We don't have it. Okay, so one thing we are trying to fix today is if we change screens while we've got one rotating, look what happens. See how our flame didn't tween correctly? It didn't move to the correct X location. It's hard to get it perfectly visible by the time we walk off, so you can see how it moves. But we are, see, like that was a perfect example. We're not updating the flame because it wasn't animating, but we need to tween its value so that it gets moved to the correct position. So how do we figure that out? Let's go see where we're doing our tween values, which I think is in our scene. Yep. So this is what we're doing for now to move our spellcast entities. And what we're doing is we're tweening to our player X and our player Y. Okay, so this isn't right, but we need to ultimately do a for loop through all these things. But what do we need? Okay, I've got an idea. So like, just like how we've got a player X. Oh God, this is tough. This is tough. Okay, so I think what we need to do is kind of have like an entity X and entity Y. And it matters where our player ends up because that's what's going to be the default to our current spellcast entity. So like if we're just rendering spellcast entities around us, there's a certain ratio of distance that our spellcast is according to our body, and we need to keep that proportion upon this screen transition. So it's hard. I might increase the value of a successful spellcast so we can test this a bit easier, but that was a good example. How it moved to our player location, but what it really needs to do is move to not our player location, but an offset of its current location in relation to our player's last location. So it's almost like as soon as we begin a transition, we need to save, but then we got to save it for each entity. If we're having 5 rotate around us, yeah, how would we do this? They need to keep the same proportion as they were when they left, when we initialize the transition. You know, it actually looks like we aren't stopping the update of that spellcast. So we actually do have to go make sure we're not doing that during a transition. Let's see where we're doing that and make sure we're not updating it if we're in a scene transition. And we are not doing that. So we have to do it right here for our spellcast entities. We have to say if not self.shifting, so that we only update this if we are in fact not shifting. So now we shouldn't have a weird placement. I mean, like the tween values will still be wrong, but it resumes its location that it was rotating around us. Oh gosh. Yeah, you know what? Let me boost. We need to boost the frame of successful spellcast, but actually what I'm gonna do is just say that for right now, our successful spellcast is always true, so that we can just test with full opacity. Successful spellcast. Did we move that? Yeah. If successful spellcast. Here we go. So we're never going to flush successful spellcast to false, so it's only going to be true once we hit true. So now we've got a fire constantly rotating, so let's watch. Hopefully it would stop updating its position when we go off screen, and hopefully it resumes its normal rotation once we're done transitioning. See, it's hard to tell because the X position changes so drastically. See, no, that does look wrong still. Yeah, because look, I'm gonna walk off screen when it's at 12 o'clock, and that means it should resume at 12 o'clock behind us. Actually, let's do 6 o'clock so we can see it. The first thing it should do is come in front of us up to 9 o'clock. And it moved to 12. So that proves that it's updating over time, or we're shifting it upon a finished transition, which is also wrong. So, oh, but then look we can see the particles casting off in a different direction when we do that. So we need to also not update our particle system when we're shifting, which I thought we were taking care of already, but obviously not. Let's go see our P system. Should be in our scene. Okay. Maybe not. Might be in our map here. So okay, so we only want to do this if our scene is not shifting. So we're going to say, yeah, because we don't act, and I don't know if we want to do this before, like we could just only do it for the update, like we just don't update it if it's not shifting, but then we're still, I think I want to do it here. I think I want to say if our scene view, if not scene view dot shifting, then go ahead and update our particle system. And hopefully that will stop updating it when we move. Yeah, okay, I don't see those particles trailing off anymore when we do this, but our tween value is still wrong, right? So and let me just see if we go to our tween values from our scene here, and instead I just want to give it like a 0, 0 on the X and Y. Let me just see. 0 and 0. So now it should, upon a finished shifting, go to that top left corner. Yeah, okay. Okay. So that does control the shifting, but if we look at the area of the rotation, it's going to continue, right? So like it's at, I'm gonna transition left once it's at 6 o'clock, and that means by the time we're done transitioning, it should continue from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Hey, happy bath time, PP Street guys. Hey, K-Tronics, good to see ya. How are you doing? We're getting our spellcast entities to be consistent when we go off screen here, which is a little harder than we're thinking because we need up to 6 spellcast entities, and we need to ultimately change the X and Y location respective to our player for each spellcast entity, and different locations depending on which transition it is. So like right now, they're all going to the top left just to kind of prove how it's working. But we need to move it to be the correct location in relation to the character. But one thing that we also don't have correct is it doesn't resume its circleness in the correct spot. So like if we walk off right now, it should go from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, but it goes all the way to 12, meaning I think we're updating our spellcast entities during a transition, which shouldn't be the case. So we're trying to find where to fix that. Now, we moved it yesterday into our particle systems into our map, but what we didn't do, I don't think, oh, okay, so this is the other thing we gotta do, is we gotta move our spellcast entities into our map as well. But maybe not, because then we won't have access to our tween values for our player. So how'd I do that? How did I do that? So if we go to our scene, we only want to update our particle systems, which is not our particle systems, our spellcast entities. Okay, no, that's freeing them. We need to see about updating them. Now we only update them if we're not shifting. So I would think that that would work. But our self isn't the... our self is just a scene instantiation, but what we're trying to do is a specific scene instantiation, which is our scene view. So if our scene view is not shifting, then go ahead and update. So let's see. Okay, so we're gonna walk off at 6 o'clock, and it should resume at 6 to 9. Still messed up. Hey, 188's not bad. Yeah, this isn't right. Oh, oh no, we're doing it here too. Why are we doing this twice? we've got, for all our self.spellcast entities, go ahead and set their X and Y to be the rotation. So maybe we can, this is maybe what we want to do closer to this. This is when we're updating each spellcast entity, but we can go ahead and do that after we update its X and Y so that we don't have to do that twice. And then maybe the scene view dot shifting instead of the self dot shifting will help our problem here. So yeah, I'm gonna walk off at noon, and it should go from noon to 3, which it is still messing up. So let's see in our play state how we exactly make this scene instantiation. Where is our play state? Okay. Yep. Okay. See, here we do the if not scene view shifting, but I guess it is okay to do our self dot shifting here. It's still jacked up. Okay, that is very confusing to me. I thought that that would stop moving our spellcast entities, which it is not. So we're doing something another place. This is really weird. Because we are... oh, okay. No, that makes sense, I guess, because every spellcast entity is an entity and every render renders it at its X and Y position. But we're not, even though we're not updating them, we are manually updating them here. So if we turn off all of this, we should get no spellcast on screen. Not updating. Okay. Okay, that's jacked. Okay. Okay, this is tough. Okay, so we need to pause. Oh, we need to pause our time. This is what we need to do. Okay, yeah, we need to pause our time increment if our self.shifting is true. So if self.shifting... Oh no. Oh no. Yep, so we're gonna just go ahead and update our time only when we are not shifting. And then that should draw them at the correct value. So I'm gonna walk off when it's at 12 and it should resume 12 to 3. Shit, still jacked. Oh, still jacked. I thought that was it. This might be... Because our time variable shouldn't be updating. Oh, that looked right. That looked right. That's right. Okay. So that's right. So I guess that means... But why does self... Our scene does have a shifting, right? Yeah. So maybe we just need to do this once we... I don't know. I don't get why self-dot shifting isn't working there. Okay, that's right. At least in terms of resuming our circle animation, but it is not right in terms of the tween value in order which to place our thing. So, okay, so this is where it gets tough because it's almost like we need to store the difference between the X and Y position of our flame versus our player so that we can tween it to the appropriate value. Because what we're doing with our player is just saying, hey, once we start transitioning, our X value becomes 0 if it's a right transition. So that's straightforward enough. But with our spellcast entity, it's like, well, where do we need to put it? We need to move it. It'll be the same. If we do a right transition, it'll be the same Y position, but its X position will be, and it'll just be a number, like an offset from its current location all the way to the left or something. Like, if let's say that the flame is touching the right side, it would be a virtual width minus 16. And we would move it, we would keep its Y, but its X position would go to become the same position minus a whole virtual width. Is that right? Because virtual width minus 16, no, it would be a virtual width plus however far away from the side it is. So we'd shift it a whole screen to the left, and then add in how much of an X. It depends on it depends on the X position of the entity when we go off screen. See, so like if I do a right transition from up here, it'll look mostly correct because the tween value is going up to the left. So like that's looking mostly correct if I time it right. But it needs to be a different X and Y. Hey Prosto, how's it going? Yeah, we need to move our spellcast entities to be in the correct X and Y location, depending on which scene transition we initialize. So I guess what happens if we don't move them is that they'll just shift with the screen. Or they won't shift with the screen. Okay. So we need to tween these values to be because we stop updating once we begin a transition, so it just keeps its same location there. Nice, good to hear that. Yeah, so it's almost like we need our X to be shifted a whole virtual width to the left, but then we need to plus the difference we need to add the difference in X position related to our character. So it's like, if it is the same X as our character, we just want it to be virtual width plus, I don't know, plus maybe nothing. Yeah, it's getting a little unwieldy in the sense that if we've got 5 of them, we have to move all of their X and Y positions so that the scene transitions look smooth. So I'm trying to figure that out right now. It is getting tough though. I'm trying to just do it for one flame. So like, if we just add in a tile size of width here just to see what the X position looks like upon the tween value. Oh, that's jacked. Okay. Yeah, because it's part of the same map, so it's going to it's being rendered on the map that's transitioning, and we don't want it to be rendered on the current map. Move flame rendering into separate function and pass X and Y into it. Yeah, let's see how we're even doing the rendering right now for the flame. It's in our spellcast entity table, and each one is an entity, and then we're changing it. Yeah, this is so jacked. We're changing it to in a flame idle state. So it's really just rendering whatever our flame idle state is in the correct X and Y of the entity. So I don't like that it's doing this. I don't like that we're doing this. We should change this. Okay, so how do we handle... I guess I'm curious why our player... Okay, I think I know why. It's because our... Let me just see if we just turn this into a positive number, what happens? Okay, so that's looking more correct, at least on a right transition. But it's because our flame is in our map class. So when our current map is shifting off, all that tween value is doing is shifting it on that map that's scrolling off, and we don't want that. Unless we offset by... And this is kind of what we're doing up here, is like we set our player X to become what our X is gonna become after the end of a transition, a scene transition. And then we tween the value to be equal to that correct value right here. Gosh. It's really messy. Looks like you just not add map shifting. Yeah, exactly. I think that's right, because we just need to tell it where the spellcast entity ends up. But where it ends up is dependent on where in relation to the player we are upon a begin transition. So it's almost like... Let me see, because we do have access to our player, or our entity X and entity Y, which is relevant to our player, and then we would need to shift it. Yeah, it's like we need to shift it by the same amount, whatever this amount becomes. We need to shift our flames also by that amount. But I guess what that means is we can save the difference. Yeah, I guess that means we can kind of save the difference of our player X and our player... Well, it would be our current player X and player X. No, fuck. Oh my god. Okay. So this... I made little notes here about what shifting it is, and if our shift X is greater than 0, then that's I think a shift right. Because our player Y, our Y would end up to be to the left side of the screen, so that would be a shift right. Okay, so it's almost like if we... And what really sucks is we got to do this for every entity. Yeah, I know there's a better way to be doing this. This doesn't make any sense. Because we'd have to be calculating the difference in X and Y for each of our spellcast entities and move it. Yeah, we don't have to be doing that. It's like we just, if it's a left or right shift, then we keep the same Y that our spellcast entity was at, and we just need to modify our X tween values. And what we set it to is the difference between our current self player's X and where the player's X ends up at, which is like what we reassign player X to be. And then we need to add that difference to yeah, exactly. I mean, there's no perfect way to do anything in code, I guess, so it's all... Okay, so I think we want to go about this idea, like, let's just try to get shifting right working. So, like, if we save the difference between... Well, no, hold on a sec. Shift X... Now I'm getting confused. If Shift X is positive, where are we setting the Shift X? Okay, if Shift X is greater than 0, we're shifting right. Now I think shifting right means we're walking... I don't know if that means we're shifting the screen to the right, which means we're moving left, or if it means the opposite. So if we're setting our player X to become I am so confused right now. Do you use canvases? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I think I just do a love render, love.graphics.draw, basically. Use 2 canvases and draw 2 images and shift them. Yeah, I'm not sure what that means exactly. Like, we just want to, like, tether our spellcast entities to our player X and Y location, and then just draw them as one and shift them both at the same time, sort of deal. Is canvases like a love.graphics or a Love2d term, or is it just how you're kind of conceptualizing how to pair? One with current level hero and another with next state and hero moved 1 screen backwards. Yeah, we're kind of doing that. Like we're pausing all updates to our current map, and we're giving us a new map, and then we're tweening the values appropriately right here. Yeah, I'll think about that. I mean, there's a certain amount of refactoring I want to do before we get too much further into development. But it's hard for me to conceptualize these things because I don't have much experience. At least our entities are ending up at the correct location. So maybe we can assign our tween value to become, well, if our entities are ending up at the correct location, then we know where to tween it, essentially, because we're trying to tween it to its I guess the only difference is the offset. Like if we walk down, we need to, gosh, I don't know. So the location of the flame becomes updated upon a finish shifting, and that is in our map class here. If we are not shifting, we go ahead and update it all, and then it's in our entity, it's in our spellcast entities actually, which is not our particle system. We need to go to, I think we do need to move our spellcast entities into the map, just like how I think our current map has a reference to the player. Oh, I guess not. Yeah, it's hard to conceptualize where to put these things. Let's see if our spellcast entities are here. And then we're only updating our position if we're not shifting on our spellcast entities. Yeah. Okay, so this is the line. This is the line that knows where the spellcast entity needs to end up by the time we... Yeah, I'll look into that, Prosto. Thank you. I will look into the canvases portion of Love2d. That might help me out a lot. Because yeah, it shouldn't be this difficult because, you know, we've got the location of the entity that needs to end up. Well, yeah, okay, so here's the thing. What if we set just like this, just like how this has the correct location of where we end up? I think we can just tween it to this value and we might be okay. Let's see. Okay, let's go back to our map. And it's actually in our scene, and it's where we're doing our tweening. Okay, so if we set our entities X to become this, oh, and we don't have access to these because they're local now. So we're jacked there. Pass them as params. Yeah, we can do that. Let's do that. We'll do step, time, speed, and amplitude. This is why I was thinking of just moving our entities into our scene, because our particles, I think that's going to be a better move is, yeah, I think we'll just do that. We'll just move them. We'll move our entities into our scene here because our particles are already here, part of the scene. Because when we move off a map, actually, no, it's in our map. Oh shit, I'm confusing myself now. You know what? Hold on. Our spellcast entities are in... Okay, no, we do have access to it. We do have access because we are in our scene. Okay, if we refactor, we do need to move them and pass them as params, or we don't need to pass them as params if we move them, but we'd have to move them. Let's see if our timer here. Yeah, we want to set our X to become, and I don't think we want to do player X. I don't think we want to do self.player X. I think we want to do player X, which is where the player's going to end up. And I just jacked that up. Okay, I think we want to do player X here. And then... Okay, and then we want Y to be equal to the same thing, just -5. Well, no, we need the math. Okay, we need... Yeah, we need the sign. Oh my gosh. So I think we want player Y here. Plus the sign time of that. Okay. And then we need to make sure we give us a curly brace here. Curly brace. I think. Okay, let's watch. Okay, okay. For one flame, it's just we'll cycle through all our entities and do it, but for right now. Oh my god. Step really is a nil value, and step, yeah, where is our... We are assigning our step here if... Let's just define this out here. Oh my god, yeah, this is getting messy. Oh no. We need our spellcast entity count. You should always keep data and preview separately. I mean, where and how you draw things, not always same as where and how things are. I know, Prosto, I'm sure whenever you watch my stream, your eyes just burn at how bad I am at at Love2d. But I mean, look at us. We've got it working. We've got it working now. It's accurately rendering it. But that's my problem, is like I'm just bodging everything together, and then if I go to change anything, it's just a shit show. Much easier would be instantly move the hero in the correct position and draw this effect, not changing them. Yeah, but I mean, I'm going for the in Link's Awakening, like the effect, like, because how do you, if we move the hero instantly, it doesn't transition from the right side to the left or whatever. So to me, it makes sense to not move it instantly, but to... Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Prosto. Yeah, I'm on the same path you were on, and you're trying to save me some eye burning myself. So I appreciate you. We do have it working. It's not very pretty. Let's go ahead and see if we can get it working for all of our spellcast entities. So we need to do a for loop here. Do we not have a spellcast entity count? What is happening? What did I do? What did I do? What is going on? What am I doing wrong here? Maybe my LSP is just jacked. Oh, it's because we're doing this weird stuff here. What am I doing wrong here? For loop. Hey, thank you, Proso. Yeah, I'm thankful for you trying to save this mess. It's just I don't know what's. It says it's missing a symbol near 4 at 113. Our LSP isn't coloring this correctly. It's like I can't even get a for loop to look right now. Can we not do a for loop inside this table? I don't know. I don't think we can do a for loop inside a table. I don't know. Yeah, so the thing is, yeah, I'm using this this tween library from the knife library, so I don't really know how it works all that well. If tables use numbers, then you can do a for loop in the table. Okay. Yeah. So maybe we just. I don't know how to do this otherwise. Because we hard-coded in our 1 and that was working, but we need to do it for a potential up to 5 spellcast entities. So maybe we can do... Yeah, we just can't do a for loop here. Or maybe we need... well, we've got a comma. It just doesn't seem to like that. Oh, you're right. I've got to cycle through the table. Maybe not. Key value in pairs. We gotta put this in parentheses here. Yeah, shit, I don't know. It's not liking me. You need a table in pairs, not number table. Okay, so we need the actual spellcast entities. Well, gosh, I don't know what that means exactly. Because our spellcast entities, let's look at our spellcast entities. So this is our spellcast entities, and we're inserting an entity instantiation into our spellcast entities table, and then setting their state for rendering. So they are an entity instantiation. Gosh. What is going on where this is still... Maybe my... Okay, I don't know. Oh. Wait, so... Wait, why does the... I thought the, Here, let me read this more. If keys are not ordered numbers, then you should use pairs. Key value in pairs, not hashtag. You need table in pairs, not number table. Number operator is basically a function that returns the number of items in the table, but only if table is indexed from 1 and there's no missing keys. So if your keys are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, number will return 5. If keys are 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, number will return 3. Oh, that's wild. So if you're missing a key, okay, so yeah, you're right, we want to just... The hashtag operator just counts from index 1 as far as it goes without missing keys. Okay, that's really helpful to know. Thank you. It'll be 3, not 7. Okay, wow. That's really weird. Okay. Okay. I did not know that was the case. I thought it literally just returned the number of items in the table. So thank you for explaining that. I still don't think we can do... Yeah, we can't do a loop inside this knife library thing, so I'm kind of stumped on how to do this only a spellcast entity amount of times. Just because... Okay, it only works with array. Before you was confused about I is 0, why not 1? Yeah, I mean, I'm still kind of confused about that now that you bring it up. I mean, because This rule about 1 to number is exactly because this operator starts from 1. So that's why I'm confused still about your I gets 0, because I thought if you index a table at 0, it won't do anything. Four just counts the numbers, but doesn't the variable that you initialize that you're using to change the value of things, like that number would be equal to 0, and then a table at an index of 0 wouldn't return the proper value. If you use the variable that you initialize inside the body of your for loop. Because I get it if you're just trying to do something, like if you're just trying to print something 3 times, go ahead, start with 0, whatever. Yeah, so I guess it just, if it doesn't need to be, if you don't need to reference the I, you're just trying to do a thing a number amount of times, we can go initialize it like that. Hey, this is working for one flame fine. But we want it to work for 5 flames. So if we go to our spellcast entity count, which is actually at the top of our file here, and we say 5 flames, only the first flame will update. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, I think that makes sense to me. I like that flexibility when you're doing a for loop. But yeah, we just can't do a for loop inside this. I don't even know what to call this. It's a table full of keys, right? That's holding. It's weird because I didn't write this function, this timer.tween function. It came with the knife library, so maybe I should just read that real quick and see if I can glean anything from it. We're looking for the tween function. I'm not sure how to add a for loop into this function call. I mean, I guess we could have a separate tween value that we do inside the function, or so. Like we can have another one of these. You know, we do another timer.tween, but we do it within the for loop, so we have access to that I position for the key value, like Prosto said. Yeah, sorry for... I've got that ability of being so bad that Prosto needs to just get it out of his system and help me. So we're trying to do this same tween function, but within a for loop, and we're doing it in the tables for loop, not the for I gets for loop. I don't know what the difference is. I don't know what you call that being different, but we don't pass the number operator. We just give the entities table, and it'll do a thing in entities amount of time, and then do. And what we're doing is we're doing the timer tween value, the timer tween function for each and every. Oh, we don't need. This needs to be. I don't know where that came from. Okay, yeah, we jacked this up. Yeah, we want this. What did we do? What did we do here? We broke something crazy. Okay, so we need to do this. Let me just add spaces here so we don't screw that up on accident. Okay, so we're doing the for key value in pairs of our self.spellcast entities. We're going to do and then now we can do this at the key value or the key this should be K for key and this should be K for key. And now we should be updating, hopefully, all of our spellcast entities X position. And then we finish shifting. We need to put this in the timer tween function call, same one, or we need to do it right here. Timer.tween 0.9. It takes in a table. The table ends like this with a finish function. And then we place this inside it. So maybe that'll work for 5 flames, and we're not... we need a... We're mimicking our other timer tween. 112 to close 119. 119. I don't know how to do this. If we just have this timer again, does it throw an error? Okay, so I think part of this timer tween function is this self-finish shifting. No, it's not. No, it's not. Actually. Okay, this is jacked. Okay, so I guess I don't know how to add another... I don't know enough about the tween library to know if I can do this twice. Because you'd think that we can just pop in another table. Like, can we pop in another table into this and say that, hey, just wait for another table? That table's gonna finish the function? Like, will this yell at me? No? So maybe we can just do our correct value here, which is in our... We want to give it another value to tween by, and we want it to be our spellcast entity. We need to do our for loop, which is the whole reason we did this. God damn it. Yeah, how do we pass in... Oh god. Let's just get our... We do need to do... You know what? Let me... What was our code that was working? This spellcast entities. We'll take this out. We need this for reference. Okay. So ideally we shift... Now, I guess the question is, can we do a... If we add in another table into here, we can't really put a for loop in there. Yeah, we can't do that. Yeah, I'm a little stumped at how to cycle through these tween values, because it looks like this function needs to finish before we, like, I don't want to run the tween value inside the loop because it's already working, but I do want to run... I don't know how to do it. I only know how to use this this tween function very minimally from the CS50 Zelda repo that I was referencing when I made it. And I only really know that you give it an object in which to take that object's value from one number to another over time. That's the only way I know how to use it. I don't know how to cycle through a value in a table. That's why I'm not using engines. I mean, hey, props to you, dude. I wish I was as good as you to be able to do that. I don't know how to get stuff rendering on screen without my engine. Yeah, I'm a little stumped. I don't want to cycle through. I don't want to do this tween operation within the loop. I know I don't want to do that. cycling through all props, all pairs of a table. Well, I'm trying to, you know, like we've got the code is working if we pass in a 1 for all of this stuff. But we want to do this, we want to tween these values instead of just doing it, you know, we want to do it for every spellcast entity. We want to tween that entity's X position to be this number multiplied by its entity number, because that's the count. Or no, that's the... So like I just can't figure out how to cycle through the table and tween each of our spellcast entities to be equal to this number, but with the appropriate index, so that we get the correct X and Y location when we're done transitioning. So I can't just, like, if we pass in 1 like this, if we pass in 1 like this with the correct 1 here, and a correct 1 here, then I think it works, but only for that one plane. Yeah. And then it's hard to see with all the other stuff. Where are we? This. Okay, so it works for one flame like that, and it's in the right location, but we need to cycle through all of them and do it. But I just don't know enough about this timer, this tween library we're using, because I don't want to run this inside a for loop. As far as I know, it takes in a time, like 0.9 seconds, and over time it takes in, you know, it takes in a key of which values to manipulate, and then it takes in a field of that key, and then you set it equal to the value you want it to be equal to over this amount of time. So camera X becomes shift X over 0.9 seconds. It'll tween the number down into that new value. So the camera X is a field of this self as well as the camera Y. So that's what we're doing here. We're setting our spellcast entity's X location to become equal to the result of whatever our math rotation, you know, the rotation of our spellcast entities in relation to our player. And we're passing in, you know, the player X, and the player X is actually the final location that the player is supposed to end up once the tween value is finished. So we just need to loop through this for all the spellcast entities we have, but we can't loop inside a table like this, I don't think. Like the first... Yeah, anytime we try to do a for loop inside of this timer tween, it just doesn't work. So a tween for each value inside the cycle. So that's like we want to do. That's the other thing, is this: as soon as the tween finishes, as soon as that tween is done, it runs our finish shifting function. So I guess maybe if we didn't do the finish shifting function, I don't know enough. Do it in its own function sounds easier. I just don't know. I don't know how to do tweens by myself. If using a library only inside the loop. I want to say what happens if we take out this finish. Like if we don't do this finish, does it... I'm kind of curious what happens. Let me just see if we can see if this crashes. I don't like that. That took forever. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, I don't know. It didn't crash, but it wasn't good. So maybe we can pass in... Oh god, I don't know. I'm just curious if we can put in another tween value here before we finish our function. Yeah, I don't think we can. Maybe we can not do our finish shifting function until, gosh. So maybe we finish tweening that, and then does that crash us all crazy? Okay, so maybe here we do another tween, but this time, oh god, and then we're doing the same shit, like doing the tween value inside. Oh god, I don't like that. Oh god. Let me just see the atrocities. We're trying to do the tween values for each key of our spellcast entity, and then if we do that before our player tween, then we need to make sure we pass in the finish shifting function, which I deleted it, so I don't remember how it was, but it was... Oh god, what was it? Finish. It was function. Was it like this? God damn it. Let me see. It was function parentheses, colon, finish shifting. No, that's what I added. It was finish... colon, wait, dude. Oh, this is jacked. It was just... It was just finish function. And then self finish shifting end. Those are the lines I missed. So we just need to finish the function, and then when we're done, self finish shifting, and then end it, which we've got still. So we need to delete that function line. We need to delete this. We need to pull this. And then we need to run this as function. This looks so wrong. Why does this look so wrong? Oh, we have one extra parentheses we don't need. This was wrong, this was wrong. Okay, we shouldn't need this. Okay, well, it doesn't crash. Let's see if we give ourselves 5 spellcast entities if it moves them all. Hey, evil hero. Function, yeah, thanks, man. Sorry, I did not look over, but you were exactly right. Hey, it's working. That's maybe the most surprised I've been to have something work. I think we need to up our particles just a bit, because when the 5 are sharing the particles, it's just not that impressive. So we might boost it. Where is our particle count? It's in our map. And it is an emission rate that we're gonna double and see how that looks. It looks pretty good for 5, but that means when we go down to 1 fire, it'll be like crazy amount of fire, which could look cool. But let's see if we go to our scene and we go give us 1 flame, what that looks like. Yeah, that's not too much flame, I don't think. I mean, maybe. We could also set the rate to be a little different, so it's not exactly the same pixels, just spread out. Let's see what 2 looks like. Yeah. I don't know, is that too many particles? Is that like a distracting amount of particles? Because I feel like there's going to be a lot of stuff on screen by the time we're like fighting enemies and stuff. Because, like, we don't really have a melee attack in this game. It's all about spellcasting, so, like, it's about kind of spacing and hitboxes on your spells here. So I feel like the particles could be distracting when there's more stuff on screen, but at least for right now, I guess it's okay. And then maybe we want to offset our flames so they're not all on the same exact frame at all times. Yeah, maybe we'd want to do that. So we'd have to come up with a way to offset the flame entity's current or starting frame. I feel like that wouldn't be too difficult. This is cool though. This is great. Our spell casting is going off screen with us. Our particles are staying on the map as it scrolls, and we're not updating our spellcast or our particle system upon a scene transition, so it's looking pretty good. Okay, so all in all, it wasn't that hard to tween all that stuff. I just didn't really know how the tween function was working, and what we ended up doing was we have to do a timer tween inside of a for loop first, and we don't run the finish shifting function, and then we do all of the shifting for our spellcast entities and our player, and then we run our finish shifting function. Now I guess we could kind of put this inside the for loop here. Let's try if we put this in the for loop, and then we go ahead and run finish shifting. Yeah, let's try it here. We say function, and then end. Is that even? Curious if this will still work. But I don't like the fact that we're doing all of these tweens a spellcast entity amount of times. I don't like that. Yeah, okay. It does bust if we do that. Okay, well, we got it working. It's not that pretty. Yeah, and I still don't know if the move is to move our entities out of our scene and into our map. I really don't know. I guess it's all up to us anyway. And we haven't seen the walking bug in a while, where he gets stuck in the walking state. I don't know if that kind of worked itself out, or we just haven't been able to trigger it again. Okay. Well, I'm liking this. What if we give ourselves 10 flames? Oh, we don't have enough particle systems to do it, so it's not scalable in that sense. Because we only have 5 particle systems. Okay, so we can't quite play with it like that because of the particle systems. If we turn the particle systems off, we could do it. But for now, we only have up to 5 flames we can do. So I won't see what 100 will look like, because we don't have a way to dynamically allocate a particle system. Because we're storing them in variables. Now I guess we could figure out a workaround for that. I'm kind of curious what. Yeah, I don't think red flame, like red particles, would look good with this. But the blue is looking a little samey. The cyan and blue are looking a little samey. Gosh, it looks really cool though. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty happy with. Yo, what's up, Prosto? What's disturbing? You saw my code, didn't you? Store them in a table instead. Our particle systems are in a table, but we instantiate them separately. So like they're in this particle systems table, but are... Hey, Adagon Dev, good to see ya. They're in here, but we don't have a way to allocate them. I guess since they're all doing the same thing, we could put them into... Yeah, we could do that. Yeah. So if we instead, like if we have our particle systems table, and then we go through, we do a for loop for I gets 0, 100. That's way too much. Let's just do 10. Or 11, I guess. See, I like doing I gets 1, 10. Then we'd want to see, and then how do we put, like if we want a variable to hold this particle system, how do we put it inside of a for loop like this? Like we'd have to say that our self.psystems at index of whatever gets to be equal to one of these. This would be an I. Are we allowed to do that? I really jacked that up. Like, would that work if we cycle through? Would that add a particle system inside the index of every p system? And then we wouldn't need to do this. I guess it depends on what else we do with the... Anytime we reference the p system numbers, we'd have to make sure, yeah, that we're doing the I, which we are. So we should be able to, and this is commented out, so yeah, we should be able to add as many particle systems as we want. So right now, this is 10 for a 10 amount. So I guess if we go to our scene and see if we give ourselves a spellcast entity of 10, we can see if we crash. We don't, and we have 10. Okay. Okay, so that's a nice little optimization. It's just that I don't like that we have to say a 10 here, and then in our map we'd have to also say 10. So we'd have to either, you know, put in the number. Spellcast entities. We're passing in the number already, so we can just do for the spellcast entities, give a particle system for it, and then we go ahead and update it anyway. Now we might need to change that when we have different casting spells, because we might need and we will need different particle systems for different spell casting. This is just our fire spell cast. Now our game isn't going to have 10 like this. I was just kind of messing around. I'm kind of curious what happens. Holy shit! Oh my god! Oh, that's wild. Oh my god. Okay, what if we set our particle emitter? That's too much, but let's put like half that amount. But I want to up the particle amount. Yeah. Emission rate. Oh, this is gonna be wild. Holy crap. That's a freaking spirit bomb right there. That's cool though. Now we can scale. Oh my god, that's wild. Just mowing over everybody. Holy crap. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, Evil Hero, good suggestion there. That is exactly what we should have done. Because yeah, I mean, we took out so many lines of code there. Look at all the lines of code we were able to just take out with your suggestion there. Now, I don't know, and maybe if Prosto's still here, like if we wanted, like the self I don't know if these are local or these are global, because we don't define it as local. So I guess we'd have to do a local there. Well, I don't know. Like if we wanted those particle systems to be local, like we have here, does a self dot particle system mean it's local because it's referencing its? Oh, I guess Prosto doesn't even use like built-in classes or anything, because we're using a class library to add that functionality. Yeah, I just don't know. Maybe we define. Yeah, so Prosto, my question is like if we're cycling through a for loop and we want each of these particle systems that are being put into a variable here into our table, if we want that to be local, we can't just put local there because we crash. So like if it's a reference to the self in this using this class, does that mean it's local or is that global? So like, is there any way to get this kind of functionality of all our particle systems are local inside a loop like this? It's already kind of local because it's referencing the self here, like every index inside itself. Okay, well, we did what we wanted to do today, which is good. We're gonna go back to our emission rate of, was it 80? And then go back to our scene spellcast entity count of a max of 5. Okay, cool. This is great. And we fixed the little bug of our particle system spitting out a random particle in the middle of the screen. And we ended up doing that because, or we ended up fixing that by, where was it? We fixed it. Our particle system's in our map. And we fixed it by doing this, where we move the spellcast entity before we set the emission area. That fixed our bug there. I don't know if that's a bad thing to do, but that was the only thing that I could figure out that fixed it. And then we also want to go back to our successful spellcast. Maybe I spelled successful wrong. Oh God. Where is it? Yeah. If it's... We only want to render our spellcast entities if we're in a successful spellcast range. And then... now that still isn't working. That's what we want to do. We flush our successful cast to be false if we're not in that range, and now we get them only appearing when we're in the successful cast range. So, do you guys think that this mechanic is too difficult to kind of like, you have to worry about your positioning as well as your timing for your spellcast? Is that too much stuff to worry about when you're playing the game, do you think? because I haven't been able to test this just yet, how it works, because we don't have any enemies or the AI for the enemies. So I'm kind of curious to hear you guys' thoughts on if that's boring or if it doesn't make interesting attacking. I don't know, because it's like each entity will have a hitbox. So the idea is you cast a spell around you and kind of just place it so that your entity's there. And our Harmonis will probably drain faster than this. I've got it regenerating real fast just so I can keep playing and try it. And then it's a little harder too if we only have one flame, because the speed at which it goes around us doesn't change. So if we wanted to hit something with it, we kind of have to wait till it's over there and kind of cast it on. It's kind of difficult. And then maybe, like, since the spellcast entities are updating over time, whether or not we can see them or not, then maybe we add like a little reticle of where the casting spell would show up, so that you can kind of time it. And if, like, let's say the tree is a bad guy, you could wait till the reticle's about to hit it, and then you can cast it, so that you can kind of save your Manus a bit more. Like that, kind of just wait till it's in the right spot, and kind of hit him like that. I don't know. Well, it was just my first kind of concept on how to do this spell casting, and how to make that, how to do a kind of like non-melee combat, because this game isn't about like killing things. It is about like restoring balance to the world. So like we're gonna be purifying things instead of burning them to a crisp. We kind of just like purify all the corruption off of them, and then they turn into normal animals again, and they run off. So kind of like these geckos here at the beginning. Like, it might be a dark, goopy gecko until we cleanse him with the fire, and then once he's rid of the fire, he'll kind of run off. So the other thing, so I've got this idea for, like, you know, this is the flame spell cast, right? But then maybe there's yeah, exactly, and because like as I'm playing it, it's just like it's a lot to kind of try to keep in mind, and that's before the bad guys are even on screen. So I'm thinking we will have to play around and see what we like. But the good news is too, I think we can play around with other elements, right? So like maybe our ice element is gonna be like a blast, like a Kamehameha. Yeah, exactly. yeah, so I agree with you, Prosto. Like, I don't want to get tied to my first idea if it sucks. So I think the move is we'll add other elements, and the other elements might have different attack styles, and we'll see if those work better or worse than this. Oh, see, look, we have that one particle appearing in the middle of the screen sometimes, like that. It appeared right off there, so maybe we have to set our emission rate to 0 upon finishing shifting so that doesn't happen. But like if we have like an ice blast that goes straight across the screen all the way across, then if you have distance between some guys, maybe you want to ice blast them. If you're getting swarmed by bats or something, maybe you want to do the fire because it circles around you, so that it's not as accurate. You can just do it while you run away or something. And then we come up with some other types of attacks for the other stuff. I want to go into our map and go into our finish shifting actually in our scene. And when we finish shifting, we want to make sure our particle systems, we are releasing them. Okay, so I don't exactly know what we want to do. Like, maybe, would it help if we set the emission to 0 before we release? I don't know. Is it set emission? I don't even remember. Set emission rate. Just seeing if this will fix the bug of that one pixel being on the middle of the screen here. I didn't see it there. Oh, there it is. It is still there. Okay, why? Okay, I don't exactly know how to fix that pixel, and it's just upon a transition. That was our bug at the very beginning of today's episode. And we ended up fixing it by moving the particle system to be the correct location. So maybe we just move the particle system in here instead of when we first start it. Well, no, we have to update it. So maybe we just go to our map. This is how we fixed it. We moved our spellcast entities, and we're doing this for every entity, so that's kind of a lot. But it's only one pixel, so why is one? Oh, I guess it's because we only got one flamecast entity. I guess if we have a bigger count, maybe we would get more than one pixel emitting over there. Let's see. Huh. I didn't see any. That's weird. With more than one, I don't see that problem. Or with 5 at least. Let's see if we see it at 2. Because we want to make sure the flames don't disappear. The flames need to be on screen for the transition, like that. Huh. Yeah, we're not seeing it. We're only seeing it with one flame. And now I'm not even seeing it. Okay, well, we'll keep an eye out for that bug. I don't think I fixed it. I didn't do anything different. I don't know. Maybe it's just like some randomness of the particle system that just got screwed up. Because I took out the line that we do this. I already took it out, but P system. Nope. Okay, I don't know. I guess it fixed itself, everybody. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's it for today. Tomorrow we're going to be doing what? We've got our spellcast going. Maybe starting tomorrow we'll go back to... Oh, I just saw the pixel. I just saw the pixel. It is not fixed like I thought. God damn it. I can't get it consistently showing up there. Well, there it is. Maybe... I don't know why. The particle system, I think, defaults to the center of the screen, which I think it kind of... I think it defaults... Oh, look it. We're setting it to the default. Okay, well, why are we doing this? This is how we draw our particle systems, but we're drawing it at a virtual width. Yeah, we're drawing it at the center of the screen, which is why. Yeah, we don't want to do this. We want to draw each particle system at its X and Y. So we can draw each particle system at our particle systems at the ith index x position and y position. Right? Why were we doing that in the middle like that? Now I don't see it at all. Yeah, why are we drawing it in the middle there? And why does it... Okay, I'll have to figure this out at some point. When we move our particle system, when we do move to, we are shifting it by our virtual width and our virtual height. So that we can place it at a correct x and y within relation to our spellcast entity. But then when we go ahead and render it, we render it at the middle of the screen. But yeah, do we have to give? We can't just say like, I would think that, yeah, that stops rendering us completely. Okay, I don't know why this is happening. We're cycling through all our spellcast entities. And we're drawing the particle system for each spellcast entity at an x and y of the middle of the screen. And we have to draw an x and y location, but when we pass in the particle system's location, it doesn't work. Oh, maybe, okay, maybe we take out this. Well, let's see. We take out the shifting of the virtual at the center of the screen. We take that out from our move to, and then we draw this at our particle system's location. Maybe that'll do it. Okay, yeah, that's looking right. Now we just have to see if we get any of those spare pixels in the middle of the screen, and I'm not seeing them. That feels more like a better fix than when I just accepted that it had been fixed. Okay, yeah, we should have seen it there because the spellcast brightness was very bright at that moment. Oh, we do need to pause our spellcast fading if we're transitioning. I don't know if that's the case. Oh, yeah, we are. Okay. Yeah, I think we fixed that weird little particle system bug where it was rendering like in the middle. Because we were drawing it in the middle for some... I think when we were first testing it, we placed it in the middle, and then we never updated that. And then we needed to shift it by the middle of the screen to get it at the right location. So yeah, that was our bad. But we've got that. We've got that, and then thanks to Evil Hero, we've got scalable particle systems in case we wanted more than 5. So that's cool. So I think that'll be it for today. We doubled our emission rate. We took out all of our local particle systems and instead make enough particle systems for the spellcast entities we have. Then we only update our particle system if we're not shifting, and we move our particle system before we render it, so we don't accidentally render a pixel in the wrong place. But now that we took out that rendering there, we can maybe move that back. But I think we do want to we want to move our particle systems. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, we do want to change that back, because we want our particle systems to be tethered to our locations, our spellcast entity locations. So I think we do want to move it back, which is where? Right here. Yep. Okay. Just make sure that doesn't break anything. I don't think it does. You know what? We got a weird little pixel there on the side of the screen. We got a weird little pixel offset. Oh no. That's what happens sometimes with Tmux. Okay. I think we're good. I think we'll call it a night. Let's finish looking at our get diff here. Yeah, we move our particle system to be where it actually is, not the shifting location. Couple comments. We tween our spellcast entities when we're shifting, which is a nice thing. Now we have to update our time only if we're not shifting, so that the spellcast entities have the correct direction by the time we're done shifting to another scene. And we can go ahead and take out that line of actually no, those are all on. Those are just commented. Okay. Yeah, I think we can call it good. We can say git commit saying spellcast entity transitions with fixed particle system. Fixed is a strong word. Fixed particle system starting location. Okay. So yeah, thanks for the help, guys. Good suggestions. We'll keep building our game. I'd like to raid a fellow streamer, a fellow game dev streamer. So if you guys want to see, he's got a game coming out in a couple days, The Feathered Serpent. So if you're interested, be sure to ask him about it and tell him you wishlisted the game. I know he'll really appreciate it. Thank you, Evil Hero, for the follow. I really appreciate that. I hope you have a good night, and I hope everyone has a good night, and I'll catch you guys later.